What's up, nerds? It's Chris here from Pancake Nerds, and we're back again with another Marvel Duel video. Today's Marvel Duel video is going to be advanced tips and strategy guide for using Star-Lord and Guardians of the Galaxy deck. If you enjoy this video, make sure to like it and subscribe if you're new around here to follow all of our guides and all of our videos to do with Marvel Duel. Let's get into it. So we're back again with another deck strategy guide for Star-Lord, and this time we're going to go Rocket and Mantis at 2 slots. They're kind of really important. At 4 slot, you want Warlock and Drax. Warlock's going to help you build up and ramp up Star-Lord and Milano for the later game, Yondu and the Arrow, just to kind of bulk up if you need it, give you as many good options as you possibly can for that medium to late game. And Iron Man himself as a card is really important in this deck if you come up against mirror matches in the late game with Hela. Destroyer is really important for this deck, along with the Ebony Blade, just buffing up those Maverick effects at the end, and of course Hela herself, and Enchantress as well is going to be good against those mirror matchups. Hela is going to be quite important in our late game. So here's a game in Platinum, which we played earlier. Quite fortunate with Rocket in the first shop. We're going to take the Axe just to buff him up because we want those early stats. Rocket's going to be quite important. And I'll just go over the general gist of how this deck is going to work. So you're going to take a lot of hits early. You're going to lose a lot of battles. They're going to chip away your health. But the strategy is to build up enough so there's a key point in the game where you start winning and you don't stop winning. So I'm taking a Ragnarok character here to help the Hela triggers later. Maybe if we get some, depending on which ability we get. I've locked in Rocket there because we want that starburst effect. And again, like I said, we're going to lose the early ones because this is all prep for that later game. So you don't want to just waste battle gems on cards that aren't going to benefit. You're trying to build up cards that really matter, so you want to search those key cards. So that's why we're going to be taking that damage. So that's why the Rocket's really important, and the Giant's really important as well, because they're key cards. The Guardians and it's Ragnarok. So great, we're going to take Rocket, get that Starburst. We're also going to take Ghost. Ghost's really good because she's essentially free, and I get really lucky here with Mantis as the Ghost drop. Ghost's really good because she costs 2 and you can sell her for 2 with the card that she gets if they're both pointless to you. So that's really good. But like I said, we get lucky with Mantis. So Rocket and Mantis, already that mid-game combo is on. And like, as you can see, we've taken a few hits, we've lost a few battles. But we're now, the tide is turning. So we've built up a good, I'd say a good hand. For the turn we're on, turn 3, I think we've got a solid field. So we're going to go with Soulmaster, and it's perfect because it's worked out well with the Frost Giant because of that Ragnarok character, that key card. And I just get super lucky here with the amount of Rocket and Mantis. And I managed to do really well with that 4th Frost Giant as well. And don't worry if you don't get as many Mantis and Rockets as I have. They will build up, and you're usually less likely to see them now anyway with the extra Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. cards in the pool. So don't worry too much. But as you can see, I haven't upgraded my shop either. That's going to give me more of a chance to get them. Whereas, as I said, with the card pool increasing, you're going to see you want to upgrade your shop a little bit earlier than you might have done. Because normally what I'd have done is I'd have waited till I had 4-star Rocket, 4-star Mantis, and then I would have upgraded my shop before buying the final one, so that when I get the Starburst, the free card from the bank, it's going to be a higher rated card. But we're doing okay. We've got a good setup. It doesn't look particularly scary. You look at the opponent, they've got some scary cards there. But we're doing okay. We're taking some hits. That ghost needs to get sold soon. Purely because she's just pointless now. That's the only thing about Frost Giant. It's difficult. It works well in a Thor deck because you can build up the armor, which kind of justifies the price of him. But I'm a bit sad he doesn't work quite in that way in this deck because we can't build up his armor. But he does work well when triggering Hela's passive ability with the Ragnarok, giving +4 to the characters on the right-hand side, which will come in a lot later when we have Maverick cards like a Hela or a Destroyer that's going to work. So here, I upgrade the shop, I buy Rocket, so that my card you get here is now going to be a level 4. 5 even. Oh yeah, because I doubled it, yeah. So straight away I get Hela, which is so lucky. And perfect timing with the Frost Giant as well. You obviously want to buff up Hela because of her Maverick ability. If you're not sure what that is, when she's Maverick, when she's the only card on your side of the field, she then does her damage to all of the opponent's creatures. And I locked in as well, I don't know if you saw, I locked in a Destroyer card. Just because I like to have as many as I can. I might buy Maverick Destroyer next turn, stick him on the right hand side in between Mantis and Hela, just in case Hela gets taken out early and I've still got a strong Maverick card. So it still runs in the deck, but that Rocket and Mantis combo is really clever because it kind of gives you 2 outs, 2 ways of winning a battle. Are you just going to overload them with damage and power? Ideally I'd have Drax. Look at that. That's just amazing. She's just cleared out there. Ideally, I'd probably have Drax. I think because he can have more base damage with a 4-star. But yeah, I do like Rocket. I'm not sure. Rocket can just continually pump out damage if he destroys something. Whereas Drax only does it a certain amount of times, depending on his card level. So yeah, I do love Rocket at the minute. You just snap pick that Milano if you can. When you're running this, because it buffs up Hela as well. I'm going to lock it in because I don't think, I can't afford it. No one wants to sell all those, which I don't. But yeah, the Milano is really good in the Guardians deck, especially if you have a lot like I do at the minute, because it buffs her up. So now, mirror match with Hela. We haven't got Iron Man, we haven't got Enchantress because our shop isn't high enough. So we could be in trouble. But look, Rocket just does some damage. He does really good bits. Just to continue the pumping out of the 6 damage afterwards is really helpful. And those Mantis just keeping him alive is so good. And that's why I think this deck is quite cool. Because it doesn't just rely on going Maverick with Hela, because if someone has something to neutralize her, then you're not really in a good place because you just put all your eggs in one basket and drop the basket. With the Guardian stuff, Hela gives you enough wiggle room to sort of upgrade those cards. So I'm going to snap pick the Milano, of course. I feel like I'm too far into the game to pick Adam Warlock. Whereas before, maybe if I got him 2 battles ago, or the battle before, I would have put him in because I want those buffs. Mantis, great. We finally get her as a 4-star. I'm going to pick up that weapon because that cuts through armor, which is really important. I'm going to go Yondu just because I really love the damage that he can do to people. Although I haven't got a full Guardians loadout. And I think I misplay here. Yeah, I should have locked in the Drax. Next turn, taking the Drax instead, and put him into the team. But hey ho, that's okay. Symbiote's just going to take out Mantis here, but that's fine. It's a bit frustrating, but better than Hela. Because now Rocket doesn't get the buff, but he does trigger Yondu, and Yondu only does 2. But just the combo there, Rocket is clearing out the board, and he's continually triggering Yondu, which is nice. Then they do work quite well together. But that's okay. So now I know that the Guardians' route of winning is probably on the lower chances now. Just purely because the combo between Rocket and Mantis died off pretty soon. But we'll take a win there. That was nice. Yondu did some bits. Rocket did a lot of it. And the battle was pretty much won before Hela got into the game. And so that's kind of what you want, right? You want to finish the games early. But we'll take another Milano. They're just overpowered in this Guardians and Hela deck, but just because of how much damage it gives to Hela, she can properly give it out. And here I'm looking for Drax, but and he's there. So, but I was wasted it, and it's such a misplay. I don't know why I didn't take him. I should have taken him and replaced him in the team, but it's okay. It's okay. We can reflect on these misplays and get better. But you want to take Drax then, and get him into your team. I think I was just so one mindset on building up Hela that I didn't quite think about Drax and how much more damage that would have done purely based on Yondu's effects. But that's okay. That's okay. Here's a tricky one, and straight away Guardians is out of the picture. Yondu does some bits for us, which is great. But here's where the Hela stuff comes into play. Just clears out the board, so good. But it gives her time to be able to knock out the rest of the cards when the Guardians team are like chipping away damage, so that the opponent's cards are within lethal. But that's okay. I think I'm quite happy with how this matchup went. We've pulled our second Hela, which is super nice to get that starburst, get her nice and strong. Yeah, she's such an awesome card. And since Yellow Jacket got a nerf, she's slightly stronger. But people are now looking at ways to get better counters. But the counters have always been there. It's just whether you can incorporate them consistently in a deck. Now, I should have made that move earlier, but with Drax, like miles earlier. But we're doing okay. We're in the top two. And it's whether we can do this now. So their Ant-Man is doing great bits on Rocket and Hela, and I should have realised earlier that that's what was happening and swapped Hela and Mantis round. So that's another misplay, but that's okay. Again, looking back at this, you get better at it. So that's okay. And I think you can see the writings on the wall. I didn't manage to win this one, but that's okay. I hope you've enjoyed this little strategy guide for the Guardians and the Hela deck. And there you have it. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.